what we've got here is failure to communicate. Some people you just can't reach. And I don't like it any more than you.
With all the information at our fingertips, how can we, the people, become more knowledgeable and then accountable? Welcome to the Great Internet Debates Hot Topic, Hot Potato Roundtable discussion. Today is January 27th, 2021. And here we go.
What's up, everybody? Ladies and gentlemen, hot topic, hot potato. Jay's like, let's start over. That's Jay's, let's roll. We're starting over. No, this is live. We got 58 minutes left and I'm out. I'm totally stoked if it's just you and me. I think we have enough to discuss. No problem.
Instead of maybe discussing everything right away, how about we get into explaining to people, make this like an infomercial for right now, as far as our new platform and what we're trying to accomplish here.
Okay.
I think this is a bullpen of sorts where we want to get folks together to hash out hot topics and then be a contestant eventually on our game show. And so in this hot topic, hot potato roundtable discussion, we're inviting everybody to come on board to be on our Zoom call. And we're going to give everybody, we'll have hot topics of the week that we're going to be discussing. And we're going to have, everybody's going to have a hot minute to talk about what's going on. And then we're going to have a rebuttal of that hot topic. And and then after that, we're going to discuss about solutions about that hot topic. So
yeah, I like that.
3 minutes. It's a 1 minute round each. And so we're going to have our opening remarks, of course, the 1 minute opening remark about the hot topic. Everybody has their thought process. And then they're going to have rebuttals about what everybody has to say, and then the solution for a minute. And I think that's really going to round up our show and keep the hot topics flowing. And this is a work in progress, and I think that's great progress for what we're going to be accomplishing as we move forward for the February, as well as moving forward throughout the rest of the year. Josh, Jedi Josh, you got this new audiovisual thing going on here. You got
it's getting wacky, man. I don't know. I'm working on an audio monitoring solution for this, but it sounds like there was a little echo, but I think I figured out.
Good. At least we can hear you, right? Out there in Wonderland. Yeah.
I've just got a thumbs up from the crew. They said it sounds good. Sounds good on YouTube. Sounds good on Facebook.
Fantastic. Yeah. So I've been very busy with the insurance world in California. California is still going on. I did see somewhere in the news yesterday. I thought I turned on the internet and it looked like Biden wanted to open up Obamacare for the rest of the nation. That's not a bad idea. The nation is not like California where they stopped on December 15th, and so their open enrollment ended back then. And California's was a 3-month open enrollment versus the nation's, which is a 45-day.
Weird.
Open enrollment. Yeah.
Is there a reason for that, or is it just weirdness?
It's political BS, and like we mentioned before in another call, that there was some of the reform that was out there was not adhered by some of the states, the redneck states, and where the people that are between 100% and 138% of the poverty we're missing out getting help. So let's just say a family of 4, give or take, between 26 grand and 36 grand, that income area there is the gray area that could maybe is not being helped in some areas. And
yeah, well, you know what? Some areas, like myself, aren't being helped at all. They strung me along for 6 months. They put me on fraud. They were like, "Oh, you're a fraud unemployment case." I'm like, "No, I'm pandemic unemployment, gig-based pandemic unemployment." I showed my tax return from last year where I made $9,000 doing theater work, and it's what I did. And they came back after 6 months of delaying, never mailing me anything. They came back after 6 months, and I had delivered them everything I had, all my W-2s, all my tax return, everything, my ID, my social security card, my birth certificate. Like, I had given them pictures of everything, Jay. And the only thing it said on my little account was fraud pending. And it went over 6 months. It just now, they came back and said, you did not disclose your income by a proper time, so you failed to file properly. It didn't reject my claim. It just said I failed to file properly. So there's no dispute, right? I can't disclaim or I can't appeal because they basically pressed the "he never started" button. It's $8,000, and 5 of it was just sitting in the bank. It already said monetary determination approved. Bank account was in there. It had everything in there for 6 months, and they just sat on it, and they just waited and waited and waited. And we're like, "Oh, you know what we'll do? We'll just say he never filed," and then it's like, dude. So now I'm supposed to appeal that I never gave you paperwork that I already gave you. So guess what? I get none. My account's shut down.
You can't refile?
I don't know.
Try it. I mean, keep trying. Hey, there's 2 people in the waiting room. I don't know if you saw that or not.
You're the co-host. You can't add them?
I'm gonna add them.
I got them.
Waiting room.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. We got an Anthony. What up, Anthony? Welcome to the show, man.
Hi, Anthony.
Hey, what's up?
And Miss Lisa Simpson is going to stay offline until she feels comfortable. Welcome. Oh, hello.
Hello.
Unmute yourself. Here we go. Welcome to Hot Topic Hot Potato.
Hello.
Hi there, nice to meet you.
There we go.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Welcome. We haven't met you before. Do you know anybody here, or are you just?
Yeah, I know Carla.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, and I was lamenting the lack of debate. Like, no one wants to debate me. I asked dozens of people online, and no one wants to debate or have a conversation. So yeah, she recommended the show.
Well, you found the right spot, that's for sure.
Excellent.
Welcome.
I have never lamented. Has anyone else lamented? I have never lamented.
Oh, I have lamented, my friend. I have, seriously. My own decision making mostly, but it happens.
It overflows.
Welcome, Lisa.
Thanks, guys.
I'm organizing all of our shots here. I got one more to add, Jay. And we're already live. And we were just talking about where the show is headed and how this is a bullpen for our show, The Great Internet Debate Game Show, which is an actual debate game show with real rules, real prizes. And we're really excited. Today, we are talking about the way forward. What's next? Biden already, overturned a dozen different executive orders. And
tough guy.
He's a mad machine. All right, here we go. So now, Lisa, you can see in my video window, that's the live feed. And it's kind of chunky, but we'll get there. And all right, everybody. So Jay, why don't you tell us, do the intros, and we'll give everybody 1 minute to just say a quick little hello, hi, how are you? And then we'll go from there.
All right. Well, I just want to say welcome to the Great Internet Debates Hot Topic, Hot Potato Roundtable Discussion. Yes, today is January 27th, 2021, a week into the Biden administration and a few weeks into this new year. And this is a bullpen of sorts where we can get people together to discuss the hot topics of the week. of the day, whatever it is, and to create the synergy so that we could have civil discourse and civil discussions about hot topics, which is apparently a broken system in our country. And you just said, Lisa, that you were having a hard time finding people just to talk to or debate about anything. And so welcome to the show. Let's see. And then we have the greater purpose is to have the game show as well. And so we're looking to get 16 contestants to be on the game show, which is going to be a debate game show format where people will vote.
She's so excited, man. That is awesome.
Voting at home. And yeah. So,
it's like,
you know,
new lifeblood.
Swaying the wind, you know, in a debate, you know, persuasion is something, and so are facts. So with that, I'm Jay, and I am from, I'm living in Salinas, California, silliness, if you will. And I've met Josh along the way in Monterey back in the day, and I've met Anthony as well on the internet a couple years ago, and he helped me with formulating some of this concept of a game show and more. And so with that, I'll toss it over to, and so what we want to do to have fun is we have a hot topic, hot potato, and we take the hot potato and we're going to toss it over to Anthony, and Anthony's going to catch it, and then he's going to do something with it.
1 minute intro. There you go, buddy.
You got it. My name's Anthony Torino. I was a occupational therapy provider and a counselor for 25 years. I still am, actually. But after 25 years, I retired from that and became a stand-up comedian. And now I am a screenwriter. And I helped Jay work this idea out, and Jedi, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So let's get to it.
All right, that's it. Nice. Cleared it in 30. Let's see. Lisa, you want to introduce yourself? Just a quick background. You got a minute on the clock.
Hey, I'm Lisa Simpson. I was a 2020 U.S. presidential candidate. I'll be running again in 2024 on my political party, the United Human Race Party. But the Patriot Party just filed with the FEC, so I'll be applying with them as an applicant. And I was living in California for 11 years and spent the last 4 months going viral around the world with the Trump MAGA America First movement. And, you know, I'm just walking with Christ, having a real spiritual, religious experience because of all this political stuff. And I've been in politics for 22 years. I used to live in Washington, D.C. And if I had gone to D.C. on the 6th, I'd be one of those people in federal custody. So just feeling really grateful to have some freedom.
All right, here we go. I guess that should have stayed a red clock moment. Great. All right, I'll put myself up there. So here we go. I'm Jedi, and I am the producer and technical wizard of the show. I've known Jay for a long time, and we've done a couple shows together, including a comedy show. And Anthony, shout out to you because he's one of the ones that helped write the actual Hollywood Writers Guild registered script for our game show, which is a legitimate intellectual property. So my background is in theater. I have acting, directing, technical theater. I've had my own live TV show. I've had my own AM radio show. I've been all over the entire country, literally almost, I think 46 states. I haven't been to Alaska or Hawaii, but who has really? I mean, just the rich, right? Just kidding. And so, yeah, I think that's about it. I'm looking for, you know, people that want to be on the show. We're looking at you, Lisa, and we're hoping to be able to get maybe you and Anthony. I think you're going to have some stuff to talk about. That's my hot minute. Go ahead, Jay.
Well, again, I was mentioning earlier that this has been a crazy week for me personally, so I'm glad the elections are over. Yes. I am relieved. I'm sorry that you know, you didn't win, Lisa, or you weren't in the running there at the end. But you know, welcome to the show. And I had to deal with a lot of accountability age stuff this week.
That's Jay. That's your deal. That's your big deal, bro.
You know, this is we have so much information at our fingertips, Lisa, that we need to be stepping out of the information age and into the accountability age, don't you think? And And I think that's the age of time that we're in. And maybe the newscasters will start calling it the accountability age at one time.
There you go. He's trying to coin a phrase. All right, Jay. Keep it rocking, baby.
All right. And again, I'm in the insurance world, health insurance, and I did see on the news today that, or yesterday, that Obama wanted, or not Obama, Biden
That's
wanted
your hot
to,
minute.
man, open up
Boom, boom.
Obamacare again. Have a good day.
All right, so that's the topic. You want a minute on that? We're going to start the show. Jay's got a minute on Obamacare. Should it be universal health care? Go, Jay.
Obamacare, should it be universal health care? I tell you what, being in the insurance business, you know, I keep wondering what Medicare for all will look like. And I look at what Medicare is today. And what Medicare is today is the government is you pay in for a number of years, your premium, and then at the end, you still got to pay a premium. But you still pay a premium. Part A is free. You earned it. It's a hospitalization, but it's only 80%. And then 20% is on you. That's what these Medigap plans or Medicare supplement plans are that you see all the time. And
Part B,
Don't
forget your prescription, Part D.
Part D drugs, that's the big thing in December, October, November, December time. But as far as Medicare for all, so everybody pays a premium for that 20%.
That's your hot minute.
The government's giving everybody 80%.
You need some more time on that, or what? What, you didn't say an opinion?
My opinion is that I think we need to move in that direction.
All right, that's your hot minute. Do you want to? So he said yes. All right, who's next? Who are you tossing it to?
All right, I'm gonna throw it over to Lisa. Lisa's ready for that grab.
Lisa,
you got
ready
one-handed
to go.
grab over there. Go for it.
Okay. I hope I don't give answers that sound like cop-outs. It's kind of my style, but
I am loving this girl already.
But yeah, my answer to this truly is because as Lisa Simpson, I refuse to do policy issues. So I like to talk more about like the root origin causes of things. So it is important to get this this figured out on a technical basis, but my real answer when it comes to insurance is I don't want to talk about it anymore, and I think we all need to talk about toxic-free health and wellness. We need to talk about completely detoxifying the human body, heart, mind, soul, and spirit, and everything can fall into place from that.
Oh, oh, that's your hot minute. And nice. I think I am thoroughly stoked with how that round went. Anthony, you are the man. We're going to give Anthony, due to 30 years of being in a clinical management position and having made millions of dollars off of that industry, I'm going to give you 2 minutes. And should we have, universal health care, and should it come from Obamacare? Go, Anthony.
Yes, we should have health care for everyone. I hate the name Medicare for all because Medicare is seen as kind of shitty. But we definitely need to have health care for all. And to dovetail with what Lisa said, that Medicare or that health care for all should really focus on the prevention of disease. We need to focus a lot on that because we got a lot of fat people, we got a lot of dumb people, we got a lot of mentally ill people, we got a lot of dysfunctional people, and that leads to a lot of illnesses. But we also treat the people we have. So absolutely, I think we're the only major industrialized nation that does not have universal health care.
Right on,
Yet we want to go USA, where actually we suck. We have one of the highest mortality rates for birth mortality rates in the world. So
in the world?
Yes, in the world.
Really?
Yes.
That's news to me.
We are not the number one in healthcare. We never have been unless you're rich. Then we're pretty high on the list. So let's get everyone some basics. Let's get everyone some basic health care. Let's get everyone some basic dental care. Let's incentivize getting off your fat ass and getting in shape. Let's incentivize eating the right foods. I'm tired of having to decide between two cheeseburgers for $5 and a salad for $9.
Wow.
I'm tired of that shit. So let's solve some of those problems. I think we can do that all together.
Oh, man, that was so good. You banged it out in like 1.5. Okay, that was amazing. So I don't really have anything to say on it, but I'll take a minute. So essentially, what I didn't understand was that there's a group of people that make like 40 to 50,000 a year, and those group of people literally don't have access to any Obamacare at all. And then it costs them upwards of $400, $500, $600, $700 if they have health complications to be able to buy into a private plan. You can only do that if you have life-changing events or it's the open enrollment period. So if you miss out on an open enrollment period and you don't get insurance and you make about $40,000 to $50,000 a year, you're boned. And you cannot get back into the insurance system now because of Obamacare. So I don't know. I used to think, oh, Obamacare is great, but I've been on Medicaid for years, off and on anyway. And so I don't have to worry about it as much right now. Maybe next year when my Medicaid expires, then I'll really be worried about it. But right now, I really haven't had to think about it. But you know what? It does screw with the system. So I don't know. Up in the air. Let's go to the next topic, Jay.
All right. Well, what topic do you want to talk about now?
Let's throw it over to Lisa. What's your hot topic of the day, Lisa?
Oh, okay. So, okay. Does anyone not feel like paying attention to politics anymore now that Biden's in? Because it just feels so it's just
boring,
empty. I don't want to say anything too opinionated, but like
whoa, hold on, time out. I do this sometimes when people are getting too intense and sometimes calling names and stuff. But for you should understand this is the forum to say whatever you want. We have no cussing rules. Maybe don't cuss. We have all we don't do is call names and be violent. Other than that, please bring it on.
Give your opinion.
Yeah,
Give
Anthony has got something to say.
Reset the minute.
Restart
the minute.
So say how you really feel, Lisa, because that's what we're at. Hot topic, hot minute, go.
All right. Well, I've been in politics for 22 years, and I'm a huge believer that you should talk about it all the time at dinner and at the bar. I've done all of that professionally and informally, and so no one has cheerleaded politics more than me. And now that America has had its first full-fledged official stolen election, and how so many things have just been taken from the Donald Trump presidency, I know the Patriots are completely wiped out, and we just don't even feel like paying attention after obsessively paying attention 8 to 12 hours a day for the last 5 years. None of us really want to talk about this stuff because it just feels it's just illusionary. It just doesn't feel real, and I just definitely don't even want to pay attention to anything the Biden administration is doing.
All right. That's definitely not outside your bounds on this show, Lisa. Seriously, I hope you grow to feel comfortable being on the show. I know whatever Anthony's about to say might make you a little uncomfortable. Anthony, you got a hot minute on that?
It doesn't feel real because it isn't real. The election was not stolen. There is absolutely zero evidence that the election was stolen. So that is why people became addicted to the soap opera, the reality show, the garbage dump that was on fire. And it is a little bit of a letdown now to watch some competent, tolerant man try to fix the shit explosion that happened for the last 4 years. So I'm watching it. I've been watching it for 35, 40 years. I've been watching politics. I've always followed it, always studied it. But I definitely am looking forward to what Biden does, just like when Obama fixed the shit show that W left. I'm very interested in watching how Biden fixes the shit show Trump left.
Okay, so he knocked it out in 50. The way this works, Lisa, is we have a hot topic. You get 1 minute. It goes around. We toss it back to you. You get 1 more minute to rebuttal. And keep in mind, so does the person who you're rebuttaling. So we got another minute on the clock for you here. And I believe that's a red minute.
How about Jay?
Nah, he's not in this one. He can do the cleanup. He can do the cleanup. All right, here we go. Go ahead, Lisa.
So I'm so excited that you said there is zero evidence of election fraud, because there is zero evidence that there's zero evidence of election fraud. So the most popular president of all time, Biden, when I last checked, he only had 289,000 views on his inauguration video. I got more views on one of my videos. Trump can get 1 million views on just one of his regular speeches. And for one of the most popular presidents of all time, he admitted that he's running the largest voter fraud organization in history. Now, he claims he misspoke. Personally, we think people with dementia, it's proven that people with dementia speak the truth. So Biden was speaking the truth when he said he was running the largest voter fraud organization in history. But that aside, he made a website paid for by the DNC to investigate all the claims of voter fraud. But apparently there wasn't any. Why would they set up
your hot minute, Lisa.
website?
And so since it's your final rebuttal on the topic, if you want to do just a small 10-second wrap up, go ahead.
I was just going to say, if Biden was promoting that there would be a very large voter fraud turnout, where did that suddenly go? And also, why did the Russians help us in 2016 and then there was no Russian collusion in 2020? Where did all the collusion go? Why
all right, that's your hot minute plus. All right, Anthony, we're going to switch over to you and then we're going to go on to the next topic. Go, brother.
If it's about hits on Facebook or social media, then porn gets more views than either Biden or you or me, but we're not going to elect John Holmes president based on him getting the most views and orgasms. That doesn't how the system works. Biden.
John Holmes has been dead for a while, homie, but go ahead.
I know, but that's the only last one I know from porn.
All right, keep going.
Still laying down the hits.
Anyway, Biden does not have Alzheimer's. He appears a little slow, as he should, because he's about 4,000 years old, and he's not hopped up on every legal and illegal drug as Trump was. It's easy to look like you might have your shit together when you're on 19 different drugs, and I can drag half my relatives in here to prove that. We have a meth addict right outside right now that's giving a political speech. So
okay.
That's my time. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So that's that topic. I think we thoroughly cracked everybody up on that one. And I am in love with this new crew here. Okay. Jay, did you want to put anything down? I think I'm good on the whole subject. How about you?
You know, I appreciate everything that you guys are doing. I don't think, Putin got involved anymore this year because, it didn't work out in 2016 for him. Trump kind of turned out to be a dud for Russia. I mean, what do they want? I mean, anyway. So I wouldn't invest anything in Trump either for 2016. See what happens to America. Let's see what happens to those crazy Americans. What's your next topic?
Oh man.
Can I pick one?
Hold on, sir. Let me reset. It's all you, okay. Anthony. What's the topic?
Okay, I was placed in Facebook jail because I posted that if we really want unity, I think instead of dropping the impeachment on Trump to get unity, I think if we executed Trump, we would actually get unity. Because people on that side of the issue would see that if you talk shit and make up lies and pass your lies off as truths, that there will be consequences for that. Trump may or may not get convicted or about getting the mob down there on January 6th, and I'm glad you weren't a member of it, Lisa. But he definitely pushed the lie that started the movement to get these people down there. So I think if Trump was executed for sedition and treason, it would show everyone, especially politicians, if you're going to step your dumb ass out there and say something blatantly wrong or that you cannot prove, it may cost you not only your position in Congress but your life. I think that would be a great thing to unify the country. Okay. I have a feeling that other people might have strong feelings about this. I'm going to send it over to Lisa. Lisa, you got what was the topic there, Anthony? What is the topic? Just for clarity. Would Trump's execution bring the country together?
And that's you, Lisa. What do you think?
Well, considering that Trump got 80 million votes and he is the most popular president of all time, he has a multicultural, diverse movement. he also has a global movement. He's backed by Japan, Israel. There's Native Americans for Trump, Mexicans for Trump, Israelis for Trump, Filipinos for Trump. I could literally name 24 cultures that come out to the Trump rallies. So it would be a very unpopular idea. Trump is beloved by people all around the world.
It's true.
The execution of any human, that's not in our place to do. God, it's one of the commandments, thou shalt not kill.
Ooh, okay.
But, Anthony, you have a real facetious manner about you. So I know you're just playing around and having fun, but the answer would unequivocally be that would never bring unity. That would just further bring us into the book of Revelation, end of days.
Ooh, that's rough. That is seriously rough. You know what's rougher than that? My transition right there. That was what was rougher than that. But you know what, Jay? We've got one of those special shows with like really good chemistry. So if you're watching on the screen, I think it's time to bring some folks into the Battle Dome here. We got the Thunderdome going, and I think tonight, we need to really just let these two duke it out. What do you think, Jay? What's your feelings on?
I'm okay with that.
All right.
Good. But I just gotta say the Super Bowl is coming up next week, and I would love to see Trump walk the plank.
You guys, all right. So let's move on. It sounds like we got both of the opinionated opinions out there. So let's see. What's the next topic? Jay, did you have something else that happened?
No, I want to know what Lisa's hot topics were that she couldn't talk about to anybody else.
Oh, hey, Lisa, you got a free ticket. Doesn't happen all the time, so I'm going to picture close-up shot.
There's so many topics to talk about, but go ahead. Which hot topics are on your mind here? Because we're interested.
Okay, I'll do a big one. How about the topic that QAnon is obviously the basis of QAnon is obviously real and it's true, and that's why it's being censored and deplatformed. I was just kicked off Facebook after 17 years of having an account. I had only gotten 2 prior restrictions back in August for things that didn't violate the terms and service, and when I was deplatformed, I wasn't given a reason. And there are millions and millions of people being deplatformed on several platforms. So to me, censorship always equals that there's something truthful there. So, so I just think the QAnon information is true because it's being censored.
That's I don't know if Anthony even disagrees. Anthony, what do you feel like that?
I think the idea that we have free speech is just a crock of shit. We don't have. We have libel and defamation laws. There are consequences for free speech. You can say anything you want to. I worked in healthcare for years. I owned healthcare facilities. I didn't take the idiot off the street and ask him what I should do with a patient because he wasn't qualified or educated to make that decision.
Right, okay.
So people don't get through certain doors. They don't get to give certain opinions because they are not educated or they are not qualified to make those. Now, social media has made every idiot who can hear and speak think they are now qualified. QAnon is being censored because they're pitching crazy shit. That's why they're being censored. They're pitching stuff that they can't prove. They've pitched stuff that the Sandy Hook massacre was false.
Ooh.
We have people that say the earth is flat. We've had people say the Holocaust didn't happen. We've had a history of idiots in our existence, and those people are constantly censored.
That's your hot minute, Anthony. That's your hot minute. We're going to circle back over here to Miss Lisa. Go ahead, Miss Lisa. You got another minute.
Sure. So Sandy Hook, Holocaust, and Flat Earth, none of that is a part of Q. QAnon is essentially about God's plan, and it has to do with the child ritualistic sex trafficking and torture and abuse that's been around for thousands of years that was spoken about in the Bible. It's what happened to the Canaanites, and God warned them for 400 years that they don't stop sacrificing their babies to Moloch. He would do something, and then he did. Now, Moloch, which is both represented as the owl and the bull statue, you can actually find these these worshiping statues. This is all throughout Hollywood. This is everywhere. So the foundational basis of QAnon is religious, very spiritual, and very much based in fact. The problem is no one wants to have the discussion, and we do have free speech, and we should also have the freedom of thought. So I should have the freedom to believe whatever I want without being attacked in any way.
Okay, that's your hot minute on that. You know what? We're going to keep it rolling around because you know what? QAnon has literally been a phenomenon that came out of nowhere. And historically, the right didn't have these crazy conspiracy theories because they were the godly folks. They're the ones that are like, you know what? We're going to be promise keepers and we're going to pray our way to the White House and we're going to take over because we don't have to pay taxes. That's their gig, right? That's not... QAnon is more in that range than, say, for example, space aliens probing your butt or the NSA recording all of our phones and emails. Oh, wait, that one's true. And we know it's true because we saw the actual documentation. So, Anthony, what do you think on QAnon? Is there any reality to the very wealthy having a propensity for child sexual deviant behavior? I think that's what we're really talking about. Is that what QAnon is? Is that where it's coming from?
Two issues. As you said, QAnon's based on religion and God, which is the biggest conspiracy and craziest theory out there that has absolutely no proof at all behind it. Okay. So when people base their lies on the original fake news, which is the Bible, and the original fake story, then they're going to produce a lot of other crazy things. And if we're looking for pedophiles, then we only need to go to church. When the church people can solve their problem of clergy banging kids, then come out here and tell the society how to do it. Because churches and religion have been hiding this for hundreds and thousands of years. People have gone without incarceration. These priests they move them to another church so they can bang some more kids. So it's not about the Hollywood elites. It's about your father, your uncle, your clergy. That's who is molesting children. So you're saying, yes, there's a bridge here between you guys. You're saying, yes, there is a problem with pedophilia in the position of power. And so, you know, I'm not going to take a whole minute on it, but I definitely would like to point out that the pizza thing, that was weird. And it got really weird whenever it became Jeffrey Epstein. That's when things started getting like, oh, they're telling the truth. Now, I could tell you as a person who has been indoctrinated into a cult in Hollywood that not only is this shit 100% for real happening, but it goes on a depth of level that QAnon hasn't even approached. You're talking about an entire psychological, mental, emotional, spiritual experience that is exactly the same as being a Christian or being a Buddhist. But instead, it's about pain, it's about hurt, and it's about taking that and twisting it into some sense of pleasure. And then that's where it comes from. It's about power, not sex. It's about domination, not virtue. So, you know, I honestly think we got a bridge there, Jay. What do you think? I think they both agree we got a problem with pedophilia in the country.
Well, yeah, pedophilia is a hard topic to talk about. And yeah, definitely. If I don't understand if QAnon is that's their full approach, but I don't hear that, you know, I don't hear that from them personally, but I'm also not listening to them. Huh?
Pedophilia is definitely a touchy subject.
Oh, Jay, what have we set up here? This has been an excellent show. I just want to remind people we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube Live right now, but then also we're on Patreon, and we also have the Great Internet Debate Game Show where we are putting together real, legitimate debates with actual prizes, with real rules. We have a format and everything. Lisa will introduce you to the format. The next time you come on, we'll do our whole spiel. When new people come on, we do a 30-minute piece. We show you a video about debating. We talk about the format of the show, and we do it all before we go live. So if you're interested next week, next Wednesday, we'll definitely be doing that. So, Jay, let's move it right along. And we're talking about, we got about 20 minutes left in this show, and I have to be at work in the morning. I'm installing a point of sale system for GameStop. So.
Oh, don't lie. You're working at Pizzagate. You're putting pineapple on pizza. That's what started this whole thing.
You know what? Hey, it is video games, and video games are one of the roots of all evil. So
I would not disagree with that.
But more importantly, I have to get up at 5 in the morning. I get up normally at 6 every day, but tomorrow 5 o'clock, the stock market can take a day off without me. Definitely, no one will notice. All right, Jay.
Invest in GameStop. Don't forget to invest in GameStop.
Too late. It's gone.
It's gone?
Dude, that's a good story if you want it real quick. GameStop, I was watching it in November, and I watched it plummet, and it died. I was like, all right, if it gets to $2.50, I'm buying in. It was like $2.63. It got down to like $2.58. I was like, okay, here we go. And then reverse. Now it's literally gone up over 200% overnight, like 2-3 days. It's insane.
You're making imaginary money over imaginary gain.
That's the great part about it. I have 4 or 5 different investing platforms that I use, and none of them make me money, and they all cause me stress. And so I'm confused as to why I'm doing it. But, you know, Bitcoin is important, right? Coinbase. Everybody should have Coinbase. I have a code if you want to, use that for a referral. But also another thing that I'm investing in is called Earth2.io. It's a virtual reality version of Earth. So anyway, that's what I'm doing, Jay. What are you doing besides insurance these days?
I'm being a dad.
Woo woo.
Back in the game. I love it. Spending time playing Crazy Eights with my kid and things like that. Yes. So that's always fun.
That's what it's about.
I'd like to hear everybody's opinion on the $15 an hour minimum wage.
All right, here we go.
Lisa, you want
minimum wage. Where we go? Jay, who's first? Who's taking it?
Well, I don't think it's enough either, but it's a base model plan. I mean, we got to start somewhere. You know, I live in California. I don't know where everybody else lives, but $15 an hour. I mean, I remember working as a waiter in Florida, and our minimum wage was $2.09 in my lifetime. You know, it was $2.01.
That was a waiter's wage. Come on.
It was $2.01, and then the federal government gave them a raise to $2.09. That was amazing.
Waiters still only make like $3 an hour, dude.
Right.
Out there? Yeah.
Everywhere.
No, it's still the case. They live off of tips.
Well, they should make it an hourly wage, and they should do something different. They should do what they do in Europe, and make it a profession, and have it included in the price of the meal and all that. That's right. And that way their people aren't begging to work while they're working. I think $15 an hour is great. People need that, and it could be more. And but I think we need to have more training. We need more training in our country too. Go ahead.
All right, who you talking about?
I'm going to pass it over there to Lisa, please.
Alrighty, so yeah, these little brats don't deserve $15 an hour at all. I've been working in minimum wage for 17 years in menial labor, and it's a complete disaster. And nobody should be getting $15 an hour unless it's based on age and size of income. So I know this might get a little complicated, but it should be based on merit. So I do believe people need $15 living wage, but not if you're 16 and you suck at your job and you don't know how to follow directions and you're a complete idiot and moron. Not if you're racist, not if you have a stank attitude, not if you don't know how to communicate, speak, read, write. Like, my mother at 63 is making $9 an hour, and the idea that a 20-year-old jackass making 15 over my mother, no. So it should definitely be based on your age and should be based on merit. And the fact that they're pushing this to me is just gonna bankrupt the country, and I don't support it.
Wow. Okay. Just passing over to Anthony. You got any feelings on this one?
I've got feelings on everything.
Yeah, just like the priests. Oh,
yeah, exactly. Yes. First of all,
Father Antonio.
If it went up to $15 an hour minimum wage, your mother would make $15, Lisa, or she would make more than $15. So I'm sure she would be happy about that. And the 16-year-old kid might make $15 an hour too. And maybe, I've never said this before, but maybe that's where you and I might agree. Maybe we should have. Maybe what we might need is some sort of 15 to 18-year-old minimum wage. because I believe, if I'm not mistaken,
ageism is protected, bro.
Well, I know, but you can, like, for example, you can only work a certain amount of hours if you're 15. You can't work full time. Also, I believe the number is, I believe it's 40% of the people making minimum wage are over 40.
Yeah, so I feel that.
And the businessman in me, the man who made millions of dollars, does not believe anyone should get paid more because they're old. Maybe they're shitty and old also. They were shitty and young, shitty and old.
Okay.
I think if we don't make sure that people who have families can survive, if they don't, I think if the minimum wage raised with inflation, it'd be $22 right now. So I think 15 is a small price to pay. And what's sad is Biden could only make the federal government pay the 15. I think all employees should have to pay the 15 an hour.
That's your hot minute, Anthony. Okay, you know what? I'll give my little spiel on it. So when I first started, I was making $4.25 an hour as a dishwasher. I remember that first 25-cent raise, $4.50 an hour. Ooh, it felt so good. And then I moved over and started making pizza, and then, you know, worked service, terrible jobs. I don't think I made above $7.50 an hour until I was 20 years old. And that wasn't because I wasn't moving up. You know, by the time I was making $8.50 an hour, I was the sales supervisor, nighttime sales supervisor for a sales floor, Dial America, that made $4 million between the two offices. So we were responsible for $2.1 million in sales in 1999, and I was getting $8.50 an hour. So the reality of it for me is, it don't matter if it's $15 an hour, $50 an hour, $500 an hour. None of that matters, because if it's $500 an hour, the guy who's paying that guy is going to be charging $800 an hour. And that's all there is to it. And it's always been that way. And as a contractor, I see it every day. This job I'm about to go do for about $35 an hour, roughly, plus a little more on top of that. Literally, they're paying that company that's hiring me, they're paying them $75 an hour, more than double what I'm paying. And they're just organizing the project. So they're paying maybe 2 or 3 salaries plus some logistics, and they're getting the double, the triple, the quadruple up. I have been paid $50 to do a tech job, like high-end IT job. Go into a store, reset their print servers that are making their receipts and allowing them to make, you know, millions of dollars. Gotten paid $50 and found out later on the company that hired me got paid $400. So for me, this whole concept of $15 an hour minimum wage, it falls on my deaf ear, because I personally have been working for myself since 2005. You know, and after a rough patch, I'm talking like I hit the skids, dude, on the street in LA for about 2 years. And when I came back, I got a regular job. And I was making, I think about $10 an hour at Cinemark. And guess what? Within about 6 months, I had moved up to like $12, $13 an hour. By the end of my first year there, I was making $15 an hour. And so if you are an overqualified person in one of these jobs, you do have the ability to quickly, you know, meet all the marks and get all of your raises. So, I mean, as far as Universal goes, dude, I know a guy that has been making $600 a week, or until December 28th, made $600 a week plus half-time at his normal job. He literally made more money this year than he has his entire life. And guess what? The bank ain't broke. We're about to dole out $1.9 trillion more. This is a joke. Money doesn't mean anything. In fact, it's getting to the point where products don't mean anything. In fact, guess what only thing means anything? Influence.
Jesus.
Well, the influence, right? That's the #1 master influencer of all time. You know, when your religious system breaks free, you know, and you start getting up there, and you all of a sudden have like literally like 48% of the world's declared beliefs, not including the people that don't have beliefs, but declared beliefs is Christian. So it's like, you really have to think about where we're at on this dollar thing. You have to think about much deeper about what does money even mean. Because the reality of it is, they could float us all $2G a month, every single head in the country, and we would have less debt if we just cut our military in half. If we just stopped making bombs. If we stopped funding dark projects, everyone would be paid in America. And guess what? Once you're paid, you learn how to do other things. You stop dealing drugs. You stop killing people and robbing people. Oh, I got $2G in the bank. Why am I going to go down with a gun and rob a 7-Eleven? Doesn't make any sense.
For 3G.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, that's the hot all the way around. I think we all have different opinions, but we all agree something needs to be changed. Jay, we got time for one more hot topic.
Before we move to that, can I say one thing?
Okay, go ahead, Anthony.
Yeah, rebut it up.
It took me about 2 weeks to do the numbers because I've always heard this about Walmart needs to pay $15 an hour. And I'm like, yeah, of course, why not? Then I looked at the numbers. Walmart's profit margin is 3%. So what that amounts to is Walmart only turns a profit the last 2 weeks of every year. The last 2 weeks of every year, it's total profit. And if you took all of Walmart's profit and distributed it to their employees, they still wouldn't make $15 an hour.
Wow.
That's then the profit margin at Walmart is. So the price of goods would have to go up at Walmart for them to pay $15 an hour, which is fine, because if the price of goods had to go up 10%, yet the person making $8 an hour now makes $15, that works out for them. And those are the people that spend money. Rich people tend to spend less money. So it actually feeds itself, and it would be a good thing.
Wow. Okay. I mean, besides the personal snudge from Miss Lisa, I think we all agree that there's something wrong with it, and I think it's time to move on to the next topic. Jay, what do you got? How about you, Anthony? You got anything hot? We're working on our last 10, 12 minutes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I've been getting in fights before I went to Facebook jail about the oil and gas guys whining like little bitches about they're going to lose their jobs. I'm like, we've known for the last 40 years we were trying to push oil and gas out and replace it with solar and wind. So I don't want to hear your shit now because we cut off the Keystone Pipeline. You'll just be without a job like telegraph operators were and everybody else in this society that's lost their job because we evolved. I'm tired of hearing the oil and gas shit. You'll just be out of a job. It's time to move on.
Okay. You know what? That seems very reasonable. I think this is the first year ever. I got you, Lisa. I'll send it over. This is the first year ever, I believe, that, was it Europe, have produced more renewable clean energy than they had used fossil fuels. They flipped the switch. They followed the Kyoto Protocol, and guess what? Now they getting off the oil. Good thing, because Biden's shutting down the drills. He's all, no more drilling, baby. No more drilling.
Yep.
All right, Lisa, coming over to you. What you got?
Yeah, I'm glad Biden's dementia finally let him figure out which one of the positions he really wanted to take on the drilling. Also, interesting how 30 seconds ago we were trying to protect people to make $15 an hour, and now you just told like people that actually like work hard for a living, oh, who cares if you've lost your job? So there is a misalignment here in your sense of protection over the people. I was an environmental science major. I grew up during the Al Gore Inconvenient Truth days. Good thing I didn't watch that documentary because it's been debunked and it's a bunch of junk science. I don't know really what to say about the environment. I just know that the whole concept of protecting Mother Earth has been co-opted by the Democrats and the left.
That's true.
It's completely false. I don't see it as like an earnest thing, and the fact that people don't even reference Mother Earth or Gaia by her name just shows it's just a bunch of political pandering.
Okay, you know what? I'm actually on board with that, and I think we all kind of agree we was going in the wrong direction. What about you? What about you? What about you, Jay? What about you?
Shalom, y'all. I just have to say
Shabbat shalom.
Shalom, everybody, and welcome to the call. I will pray for you all.
Adonai. No, okay, let's not do
Okay, so I just want to say, thank you to everybody being on the call.
Yeah, this is great. This is awesome.
Those of you out there in YouTube land, subscribe to our page, like our page, click for the notifications, all that kind of stuff that